This is the Sony A6400. Now, this is a really excellent camera. It's part of the second generation of the Sony Alpha line. The first generation was the A6000, the A6300, the A6600, and then this is part of the second generation, which was the A6100, the A6400, and the A6600. So this is the follow-up or the upgrade of the A6300, which itself was an excellent camera. So this is smaller, lighter, and has a higher resolution than the A6300. And compared to the A6100, it has a plastic body. This one has a magnesium alloy body and a lot of extra features in the menu. Now, this is a 24 megapixel camera. It'll shoot 4K 30 frames per second or at 1080p at 120 frames per second. It has a 3-inch tilting screen, so you can see the screen tilts, and it can do a 180 tilt on it, so it can be a selfie camera if you need that. But it also has an electronic viewfinder, and this is a really excellent viewfinder. It has a pop-up flash, which is handy, and it has a hot shoe, so if you need a better flash or a better light. It has, on this side, it has the HDMI output, a USB connector, and a microphone connector. And that's really important if you're going to use this for video purposes. On the bottom here, you have the SD card goes in the bottom, the battery, and it's the original smaller batteries, so it's not very heavy with that extra battery in there, but it is going to have a limited battery life. So if you're going to have one of this generation, you're going to want to have some extra battery. The good news is they're very inexpensive. This has that 24 megapixel sensor, like I talked about, but it uses the Sony E-mount lenses. Now, the Sony E-mount, a really ingenious system. They essentially use the same system for their APS-C cameras, which is what this is, and their full-frame cameras. So you can put essentially any full-frame E-mount lens on this camera, plus any of the numerous APS-C E-mount lenses, and there's just a ton of them. And there's some really excellent lenses from Sony and from other manufacturers. There's a lot of, especially right now, there's a lot of other manufacturers that are producing some lenses that are a lot less expensive than some of the Sony lenses, but they're every bit as good and sometimes even better. So that really makes it just an excellent, excellent choice. When you get a camera, you're marrying in to the lens system. And I would rather have a really, really good lens and a so-so camera than a fantastic camera and a so-so lens. So the lens is really the thing that makes the difference. And as you build your system, as you build your collection, you're going to get lenses that you can take with you as you upgrade to more cameras that come along. Sony's going to keep with this E-mount system. There's so many cameras on it. So if you go to a full frame camera or one of the newer cameras or one of the video oriented cameras like the FX3 or the FX30, then you use the same lenses. And what I've done is when I'm shooting, for example, a lot of times I'll use multiple camera angles. And when I use multiple camera angles, I want all the cameras to be the same brand. That way the colors look the same. And it just speeds up the process when you're editing and doing the post-processing. And so this makes it a really excellent choice for this camera to either start your introduction into the Sony Alpha line or add on to if you already have E-mount lenses. So excellent camera, really highly recommend this. Sony A6400.